I'm Morgan Doremus with RT Book Reviews, and today I'm at New York Comic Con with Nicole Peeler. Welcome.
Hi, welcome. Hi, RT.
I know. It's all your fans here. And they, of course, are fans of your Jane True novels.
Yay.
We are a bunch of books in. We've gotten to know Jane very well.
Yeah.
She is a halfling, half selkie, half human, but that doesn't slow her down. The half that's human, she's like, whatevs, I can do whatever I want.
Exactly.
I will kill you. I will throw fireballs.
That's actually the more self-indulgent part of her, is the human part. She's like, she just wants to eat.
Yeah,
lay
right.
around.
Exactly. Well, don't we all?
Yeah.
Like, if I could be laying right now, we could just do this on a bed and just be like kicking back.
We could.
I know. But
I bet they have beds at Comic-Con.
I bet we could probably find one.
They'd be creepy beds, though.
Yeah, probably with like people you wouldn't necessarily want to get in bed with. No. Okay. No. Well, anyway, we are here at Comic-Con, and of course there's superheroes everywhere.
Yes.
So I have to ask you, Jane, would you consider her a superhero?
I would consider Jane actually to totally be a part of that like reluctant superhero trope that you constantly find in comics. So like the Peter Parker, like, but I don't want to, have my powers. So she doesn't want to do this. And I think actually that's what makes that trope interesting, is that that's what makes a good hero. Is if you're too gung-ho, you're going to end up kind of a jerk, right?
Yeah.
But the reluctant superheroes, like, they're aware that, with great power comes great responsibility.
Oh, she said the quote. I knew it was coming.
Right?
At every Comic-Con, somebody has to say it. It has been said.
It's probably like tattooed on half the people here. It's like in her thigh. They just stroke it at night. One of these days, great responsibility.
A spider's gonna bite me.
Yeah. Anytime now, they just walk around. Bite me! Sorry, that was wrong. Sorry.
It's okay.
Total segue.
It's okay, because I believe what you're doing right now is actually kind of sort of what you do in your books. Like, we get the snark, we get the funny, we get the
completely
a little inappropriate, like just a little, but in a great way, in a very fun way. So props to you.
Inappropriateness is my superpower.
It is, and Jane, she's not really afraid of like offending or being the girl at that party that's like, oh, she's, stay away from her.
Yeah. I don't think she thinks about, like, she knows what would actually be hurtful, but like she doesn't have much of a filter.
Yeah.
And I think what makes her, for those that get her and those that like her, I think what makes it work, that kind of humor, is that it's never nasty and it's never expected. Like, the Cyrano de Bergerac joke. Like, she wouldn't go up to the guy with a huge nose and be like, you have a huge nose. She would be like, oh my God, your shoes. Like, she would be the person who picked out something completely random.
Right.
Because she just doesn't see the world quite right.
Yeah.
So.
But she has a group of people around. Well, I say people. They're not all people. But she has a group of friends.
Right.
That help.
Yeah.
Can I say help? Because it's
you
not
can say more
always
than help. I mean, then that kind of becomes a point of book 6. Like, I'm a big advocate of like. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm very independent, and I love being independent, and I love that story of the person who climbs Mount Everest. But like, I'm really resistant to those narratives that are like, so-and-so did it by themselves. And I'm like, actually, they have a huge team behind them.
Right.
And,
the Scoobies, right? The Scoobies.
Well, that's it. I really believe in friendship and teamwork, and we don't ever do anything on our own. If we think we do, we're lying to ourselves. Like, people have helped us. People have guided us. People have, given a lot to our lives. And so to kind of throw that overboard is really to be disrespectful, I think.
Right.
And so Jane, that's her power, is that she can bring people together and that she can kind of unite people, and people want to help her in, I think, a positive way. Like, they see that she's doing something good, so they want to help her. And they know that she won't kind of use her powers for evil.
Yeah, I have a question. Okay, usually when there's a problem, and Jane goes in and fixes it, and then it's solved. Well, we'll say solved.
Yeah.
The next problem, instead of getting smaller and her fixing something, it generally just gets bigger and bigger until now we're looking at, end of the world, war, mayhem. She's traversing the globe, let's say. Why do you do that to her? She's a nice girl.
Well, part of it is for tax deductions, because I get to go where she goes.
Okay.
So if it was just like, and now Maine is fixed, then she just settles down in Maine like that, I would have only had that vacation. No, seriously. I think that, again, it's kind of this idea that things snowball and nothing is ever what we think it is. And the books have surprised me. Like, I've had now, like, the 2 major plot twists in the books, the one that happens in book 3 and then the one that happens in book 5, which everyone's like, what? Like, those were not outlined. I had totally different outlines and totally different plot arcs. that did not have those big plot twists. But then it just made sense because it doesn't, like, that's not how the world works, is that, like, oh, there's a bad guy and he's just bad and he just does something bad. Like, the reason people do stuff is always really twisted, and there's always someone else behind something, you know? Like, it's like the legend, like, the, you know, that's what we learn from history, is like obviously someone like Hitler's evil, but there's all these other things going on behind the scenes, and, you know, in the history and all this, in the economy and all this other stuff to, like, really make the evil go. So that's in, like, this, you know, kind of flippant urban fantasy setting. Like,
it is rather irreverent, yes.
So I was, you know, trying to explore some of those ideas by, like, poking at them with this
Hitler, urban fantasy, silkies, you know.
Hitler always props up in my books. I'm always like, but what about Hitler? Because, like, I think I really want to try to explain that kind of evil.
Well, it is, yeah. It's quite beyond most people's comprehension, but in the urban fantasy setting, you really can go there.
Yeah, I mean, I can poke it with a stick, and it's like a stupid kind of short stick.
So this is your very first Comic-Con.
Yes, it is.
Here in New York City. What do you think so far?
We literally, like, ran in the door and, like, shot right here. But it looks amazing. Like,
but you've had to have passed the ninjas and the anime characters and the superheroes, and
there's always, like, already
your kind of people.
My little inner Jane is just like swords.
Well, be nice to them. This is a really good group of people.
It is.
They're your people.
Yes, it is my people. And I do, like, I love all the aesthetic. Like, I love all the manga and the Japanimation and stuff. So, it'll be interesting.
It will be interesting. I'm not sure if I should let you go because I don't know what you're going to do once you're out in the crowd. But I'm going to say thank you very much for running to the interview. I appreciate it.
No, it was my pleasure.